to create a psychedelic landscape. So what you're going to do is drag your picture into Photoshop. I just use the default Photoshop size for this. And I am actually going to move mine down a bit so there's more room for sky up here because we're going to do something really cool in the sky. So once you have it resized, press return. You do not want that blue box to be around it or it'll limit the other things you can do in Photoshop. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this blue sky, and I'm going to do that by using the quick selection tool. It's right here, and you might need to right click to get to it. So quick selection should try to recognize what your colors are matching together and what you're trying to select. So once you have that area selected, then you can press delete. You might have to convert to layers first. And it should delete the background. Okay, Command D on your keyboard will deselect so the ants go away. And then I just need to clean up that skyline there. So I'm going to use my eraser tool here and drag it across to clean up the skyline. Okay, so now I have a building with no sky, which is perfect. I'm going to hit the plus sign down here in the bottom right corner to create a new layer. So with the new layer, I'm going to hide this one, which I do by clicking the eyeball, and that will make it where I can't see the building. And I'm going to just create the sky in this area. Okay, so for the sky, what we're going to do is add a bunch of colored shapes in there, and then we're going to use the paint tool, which kind of swirls them all together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use triangles. You don't have to use triangles, it's up to you. And I'm just going to drag and drop and create a bunch of triangles here, okay? I'm mainly sticking to where the sky would be, like this. Okay, now the second time I do it, I'm going to choose a different color because all the colors are going to swirl together. So ultimately you want everything overlapping and you want just a lot of bright colors. So I'm going to try blue. If you do not have the colors available in this fill section, you can click on this rainbow button here and you'll get the entire rainbow of color options, okay? I have just done this project recently, so I have the colors I want available. Okay, then the next ones I'm going to choose like a yellow-ish color. And then I'm going to choose, let's do a couple more. Maybe an orange. And I'm just randomly dropping these in. And then, is that aqua? Really like a greeny aqua. But you can choose whatever colors you want. It could be primary colors, just as long as it kind of covers the space you think you're going to use. Okay. And then last one, I think I want like a lime green. Okay. So it doesn't really matter that they're all facing one direction. You can twist them like that if you want to, but we're going to mess with that in just a minute. Okay, so it's a pretty good covering. Now I have made 80 triangles, which seems like a lot, but I just kind of did them randomly, so it didn't really. So what I'm going to do is click on the first triangle, hold the shift button on my keyboard, go to the top and click on the last triangle. Okay, so now all of them are selected. So then I can right click and I can duplicate them. Okay, or I can do Command C, Command V to copy and paste. Okay, so now I have 80 new triangles. I can click on my move tool and move the new triangles to kind of overlap. So my goal here is to fill pretty much all the white space. So I'm just going to find a new spot for them, and then I'm going to right click and duplicate again. Okay, and this time I'm going to flip them all upside down so I get some different direction going, get some more area filled. Okay, and then I might even duplicate it one more time. Okay, So this looks pretty good to me. When you are happy with however many triangles you have, you can go select them all. Remember, hold the shift key to select more than one. I'm going to right click and I'm going to merge visible, okay? And that will put them all into one layer for me. And then I can move this layer around, okay? Now to do the paint option. So what I'm going to show you here, make this a little bit bigger, okay? I'm going to come up here to filter. One of the options is stylize, and I'm going to choose oil paint, okay? And when I choose oil paint, it'll let me distort this into like a rough painting tool. So if you can't see it, just hit the negative because it may be just showing you the bottom. Okay, so this will preview what it will look like. You can play around with the amount of stylization, how clean it is. I kind of like it with the brush strokes, the scale. I would not do much detail because the more detail you do, the cleaner. Actually, that's up to you. You can play around with it and see. And then hit OK, okay? And see how it distorts it. So to get it really good and distorted, you might do it 2 or 3 times. After the first time, it's going to be in your quick options, which just shows up at the top, so you can just hit it repeatedly until it's there. Okay, so this looks good to me. I'm going to turn my building on again. Click on my building layer and move my building to the top. Okay, now the building looks too contrasting with the background. Actually, I'm going to move the background up a little. Okay, so on the building, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the background, which make it oil paint. So again, it should be in your filter options here. And the more you click it, the more oil painty it should look. Okay, so this is one option. You can stop here, take a screenshot, and turn this in. Option number 2 is if you want the colors to look a little more funky, you can go to Adjustments, Hue Saturation, and turn on one of the different hues. And this will change all the different colors on your entire canvas, okay? So this is a second option for you. A third thing that we learned last week is that if you go to the blur tool and choose the option smudge, that you can smudge some of these triangles together even more. I wouldn't do it too much, and this is up to you if you even want to add this at all, okay? But if you wanted to, excuse me, smudge some of it, you can, but you really want it to see all the little strokes and the differences in it. Okay, so to turn it in, you can either Command-Shift-4, drag a screenshot, or you can come up here to File, Save a Copy, and when you do save a copy, make sure to choose to save to your computer, and I would choose JPEG or PNG as those options, okay? And you can control where you're saving it to. If you want to keep working on it, you're going to do File, Save As, and this time save to your computer. And then you can save there.